And welcome back. You're watching Morning Thailand from Court War with daily happenings we've reported each day. In Kun Golf during this rainy season, you know, what comes with it?
Well, at this point,
many things.
Yes, mosquitoes.
And also
mushrooms.
No. We've already talked about and already passed the mushroom. It's the dengue fever.
Right. Especially in kids, because due to the fact that, of course, if you have been in Thailand for a long time, you know that mosquitoes here, it might not look that big, but boy, could it bite.
Exactly. And what is shocking now is because Thailand has been ranked as the second highest cases about dengue fever in ASEAN countries.
In ASEAN country. Okay, what's the first?
Singapore.
Singapore? I'm shocked. Are you?
Right.
Because, you know, for me, I would think that Singapore would have everything under control.
Hygienic.
Yeah. So
something
I'm very
like
shocked.
that.
Interesting.
So, but there are recent figures that have been reported by the local disease control, and they found that the number of cases of dengue fever in the northeastern provinces of Thailand have risen 4 times higher compared to that of last year.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
This figure has been collected from the 1st of January this year to the end of May, and they recorded cases in Ubon Ratchathani province, which it say there were 3,500 cases during January to May alone, which is 4 times higher than last year's figure, with 9 deaths reported in Ubon Ratchathani province. Meanwhile,ศรีสะเกษ reported the most patient with 1,086. 1,000 people, that's quite serious.
Yes, it's quite high.
So now local authorities have taken some stringent measures to rid residential areas of mosquitoes. They already launched campaigns, and meanwhile in the capital, the Department of the Disease Control has worked with the Yam Sa'at Rangsit school, as you said in the footage, in launching a campaign against dengue fever in Thailand.
And I think oftentimes it's the children that are prone to actually get all the dengue fever. If you know you have children, make sure that you keep an eye on them, due to the fact that sometimes they stay in school. You don't really get a chance to see and look after your children all the time. The best thing you can do is make sure that around your house there's no still water where the mosquito can actually lay eggs, and make sure that, you know, check the temperature of your kids often.
Exactly. It's quite worrisome because it say that the cases could reach 150,000 cases this year, with around 100 to 150 fatalities.
That's quite serious.
Right.
So make sure you keep an eye on that. Now, moving on to the interesting news that I have promised you about. It's very unfortunate. I mean, a lot of countries and people around the world knows that when you talk about Thailand, the majority in terms of religions that we have are Buddhist or Buddhism. Now, there has been a lot of criticism, I think of late. Of yesterday, we reported about the whole
3 months
private jet and Ray-Ban sunglasses, looking very stylish with iPod. Now, one of the monks finally has been identified. Now they say that his name is Luang Pu Nen Kam. Of course, having said that, Luang Pu, when you talk about Pu, it means grandfather. He doesn't look like he could be a grandfather. If you can see a small picture there, apparently somebody has reported that he has been with a woman. So obviously, if that's the case, he already breached a lot of discipline, and at this point,
definitely.
Yeah, if he apparently he's in France right now on a trip. I'm pretty sure it's probably religious related trip to France. And yes, so at this point the police are trying still to contact the monk to make sure that we actually get a chance to see him. Now he is actually
the abbot
of Wat Pa Khanti Tham inศรีสะเกษ province. The full name is หลวงปู่เนนคำฉันติโก of course there's the footage once again of the private jet that he was in. They say that at this point the monasteries or the committee, the Buddhism committee has came out and said that, well, they don't think that the monk actually owns this particular private jet. It's probably his follower or his disciple, was followers that might be one of those rich people and decided to provided him with a private jet. Now they say that at this point they are expecting him to come back on 27th to the 30th of this month due to the fact, so next week, due to the fact that he always come back during the time of a big event, and they were going to have a big event at the temple next week, trying to, of course, if you know the Emerald Buddha, the Emerald Buddha always changed the robes according to the season.
Right.
And this is a rainy season, so he's gonna come back and presided over the ceremony of changing robes for the Emerald Buddha in the replica in his particular this temple of the Wat Pa Khanti Tham in Srisaket province. However, of course, at this point they say that there are probes over his private jet incident, and plus to see whether or not this is actually his picture that we're sleeping next to a woman.
Yes, because when someone gotta own a very own private jet, officers will get to look into his assets and also track down his profile.
And technically you're not supposed to have.
I've got some information because yesterday a group of reporters have traveled to this temple in Srisaket province, and they have talked to villagers around the temple, and they said it seems that monks in this particular temple had some connections with senior police. And
why do you need a connection, seriously, if you're a monk? No idea. But yeah, I have heard the rumors too that they say that when he goes somewhere, there's
police escort.
Exactly. And you technically, if you're a monk, I don't think you require a police escort. Okay. It doesn't matter how fast you need to travel to another place. I'm pretty sure chanting can wait. But once again, let's just give him a benefit of a doubt, wait for him to come back from his religious trip in France, and then hopefully we will hear more about it.
And in a separate case, as I said, the National Office of Buddhism has said they received a lot of complaints regarding monks owning luxury cars and expensive items. As I said yesterday, another monk that has been mentioned in the news isพระครูประหลัดสิทธิวัฒน์ or หลวงพี่น้ำฝน. He's the abbot in the Wat Pai Lom, the Pai Lom temple in Nakhon Pathom province, and his name is actually on the list of the DSI, the Department of Special Investigation for possession of luxury cars. Very interesting here, because he actually owns a Jaguar cars and a lot of luxury cars, expensive Mercedes, as I said.
That is crazy. That's his? That's wow, that's actually matched his robe.
The committee had already looked into the matter and found that the cars had all been given to him by his followers. The monk said he was donated old cars and modified ones, and sometimes he had his disciples repairing the cars and sold them, and the money goes to the temple.
Yeah, I don't think monk could do commercial,
like
work
that
either. So
think about that as a donation to the temple.
Yeah, but it's not donation if you actually have to work to actually get it. That's like getting paid for something. That's like trading. Technically, you're not supposed to trade. The only thing that you could do as a monk is, I don't know, getting alms from people. That's the only thing. That's the thing.
Some of them, he kept them for display.
For display. But
because some are old car vintage.
Yeah, but that wouldn't that be agreed? Which is one of the things that sin that you're supposed to rid of.
And about this old Jaguar car, he said he was given by one of his followers who was the restaurant owner in the United States, and this car was imported from the States in parts, assembled in Thailand.
But yeah, then this is probably gonna tie to another incident that we're going to talk about. Of course, with the whole supercars thing, once again, the investigation about supercars. At this point, yesterday we talked about Kun Chalerm with his Rolls-Royce Ghost, which the license plate...
I've got to apologize because yesterday we said he was driving pink Mercedes. It was not. It was Bentley.
Bentley. Oh, well, you misunderstood the brand of the car.
I'm so sorry.
So it's actually more expensive than Mercedes.
Definitely, and it was limited edition too in the world, another one belonging to Paris Hilton.
Yeah, Kun Chalerm and Paris Hilton have one thing in common.
Right.
That's nice.
Okay.
Right, so let's move on with the whole supercars thing. Of course, there has been a lot of talk, and at this point, as you can see, not only politicians are in hot seat, the well-known monks, revered monks as well, and it's very unfortunate because I don't think that's actually normal thing to actually happen. Now, nonetheless, they have been said that, of course, Kun Chalerm has came out and said bluntly that that belongs to a Singaporean businessman, which is a friend of his son, who actually owns the car and has been imported legally, is paid the excise tax. However, like we said yesterday, that Kun Rung Kai has mentioned that there's going to be some filing with the DSI saying that he wants a little bit more probe into Kun Chalerm's case. Now, having said that, at this point, a lot of people were actually wondering, and the DSI and Custom Department are trying their best to actually bringing in all these particular documents that has been done by a lot of companies. They say that at this point already they found that the documents belongs to 548 cars that they were able to get a hold of, and obviously at this point there are a lot of investigation going on. They say that at this point you have to look into the numbers, the serial numbers on the car itself. However, it seems that the investigation is ongoing not as fast as a lot of people were hoping for, because we were hoping that it will be done a lot faster and perhaps we would hear a little bit more on it. Now, they also talk about that they already have heard about 2 culprits that may be responsible for this particular case, and they talked about the whole fact that a lot of cars were coming in from the neighboring country as well. Now, these cars couldn't fly, of course, when they're coming in, if they are coming the entire car, not in parts, it's coming in one of those ship cargoes, right? Like when you see a big containers there. So a lot of the custom departments has already looked into that as well and see all the companies that has bringing those in. Now, at this point, as I said, most of the people who are responsible for all these cars are either politicians or the monks that in a hot seat. There are a lot of people that has been called in as well to come in and report it themselves to be under investigation. They say that you can get your car checked and it would be only a few hours and you know the result right away. So for all the business owner, if you've been called and you know that, even though your car is over 4 million baht, you have paid the tax in full, you don't have anything to hide, just contacted the department and then have it checked so that way you can clear yourself off the list.
And to speed up the investigation.
Exactly, and they promise you that you will know the result right away. So meaning that you don't have to wait for a few days and you get your car back right away. So I think it's a win-win situation. You can clear your name as well. So if you're innocent, yes, please do it, because that way your name not going to be tarnished.
And regarding that Rolls-Royce of Kun Chalerm, it seems that the former Senator Kun Rung Kai Rikitwattana is on a hot seat as well, because Kun Chalerm said he will file an allegation against Kun Rung Kai for destroying his reputation.
Right. Well, he has the right to, but that's the thing. Before you accuse anyone, make sure that you have enough evidence, because obviously, if you just say it, that's just, you are tarnishing their name. So he has the right to do it. I think it will be another interesting news, and we probably will hear a little bit more about it at this point. Now, of course, we're going to take another short break, but we'll come back with updates on Kun Ekayut case, about what's going on at this point, and the big case, rice pledging scheme. There has been a big changes, so please stay tuned.